I'm tripping. What is going on? Wow. Don't go live for 2 days and my fault, 1 day. And I already forgot how to operate this thing. So, what is going on, man? I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Daily App. Yappisode 24, I believe. So we coming up in the world. My mic is off. It's tripping. Let me see. Let me see. Is it not working? Is my mic tripping still? Testing on the mic. Somebody save me. Okay. Okay. All right, we good. I got a little nervous because my thing did not tell me that my mic was tripping. But welcome back to another Yappisode. This is number 24, I believe. And we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, a lot has gone on. That is why I was late tonight. So my apologies. Again, notification after notification hitting. And then next thing you know, I see Andrew Kovich responding and talking about the fake, alleged fake video, all this other stuff. He's trying to debunk things. Blake Neff's getting in the mix. It's a lot going on, man. A lot going on. Y'all can hear? Great, perfect. So tonight we'll be talking about kind of quite a few things. It'll really be like reacting to a lot of things that's being said because I haven't been able to catch up on absolutely everything that's been going down on X. So I will be looking at a lot of that this episode. We'll also be taking a look at a few clips from the Women's Leaders Summit, whatever you want to call that. And yeah, so we'll definitely be looking at a lot of that stuff tonight. If you are new to the channel, please hit the like button. If you are, everybody, please hit the like button. Everybody. That is not only for new people. Everybody, please hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, hit the sub button. No, don't just be coming in here just listening to the episode. The Yap community, you just lurking in here, not saying nothing, not commenting, not liking, not subbing. That's weird. You are a weirdo if you're doing that. You could at least hit the like button if you opt and you know you paid to come over here and listen on all that. The least you could do is just hit the like button. Engage with me or something. But if you are new to the channel also and you don't know what's going on behind me, please drop your state. What's going on, TikTok family? Please drop your state, your country, if you are international, so I could drop a pin for you in the back. We are growing as an audience, as a family, as a community. As you can see, we are crossing the entire world. All the listeners from around the world tuning in to the Daily App at night before we go to sleep. So I appreciate y'all. I also appreciate y'all for listening at this late time, depending on where you at. I'm on the East Coast, so it's late over here. Some people that are on the West Coast, you lucky. Only like 8:53 for you, or my fault, 7:53 for you. Then we have some international listeners as well that's already into tomorrow. It's crazy. It's crazy. So please drop your state, drop your pin from Florida. I do have a Florida. I do have a North Carolina. I do have a Houston, Texas. So we have some people representing you already. But again, that's great. That's great that we got somebody in your city listening in. So yes, if you're new, again, do all of those good things for me. It helps the channel out, helps us grow. We are on the road to 22K, and I appreciate all the support along the way. Now, y'all know what I got. Let me crack it open real quick because it's gonna be a lot of things that we got to get to tonight because I haven't been able to analyze everything that's been said. So a lot of these things are going to be happening on the fly because I had some other things to talk about. But some of these things is a must, such as Andrew Kovich coming out and responding to the fake whatever we got yesterday, or my fault, Friday, of Charlie appointing Erica as CEO. He dropped this long, lengthy tweet and said a lot of different things. Now, for the ones that are catching up on everything, Friday, Turning Point USA dropped the secret video of Charlie appointing Erica as CEO. Just for anybody that did not see it, let me just fill you in right quick on what the video looked like. We won't break it down too much, just because that was on the last episode. You can go check that out. But I do want to just play it again just to provide full context of what we're breaking down tonight and why this is very important. So let me pull that up because I did not. Here it is right here. All right, here you go. Let me pull this up for anybody that hasn't seen it yet, because it is about to get very, very interesting.
Relationship in your life is the one that you have with your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. His passion was my passion, and now his mission is my mission.
I appoint my wife to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Erica would do a great job.
The most important.
That's it. That's how quick it was. That was the video that came out on Friday. Erica's walkout music or whatever to her women's leader opening. What I didn't know, and if somebody can confirm, did Erica ever have a Q&A for this women's leaders summit or whatever? Does anybody know if she had a Q&A? I did not see one. I thought that was very very odd. No, it doesn't sound like the original. And I believe I have the original as well, that or the AI audio clip that she wanted to walk out to in December. I did not see a Q&A from Erica at this women's summit, whatever. But I saw a lot of Q&As from other women that were there speaking, all the other, guest speakers. They did Q&As, but I did not see one from her, which is, I don't know, kind of weird. Yeah, it was very weird. I was expecting it. I was expecting a Q&A because that's what her and Charlie always did. Now, I don't know if that person that said, Erica's protecting pedos, I don't know if that maybe made her nervous. But again, like, this is, you a political figure. You know what I mean? Like, this is what you do. So you can't run from the smoke. Like, that's what your husband stood on. So I thought that was kind of odd because I thought it was gonna happen today. She was gonna close because usually her and Charlie closed this event, and they were the last people to go up. That's what I mean by closed. They were the last people to speak, and they would sit down and have their Q&A and chop it up or whatever like that. But and then she didn't do anything though. Like, she opened up the Women's Leader Summit, and then we never saw her again. That was, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, out of all the women that are doing Q&As, I think she'd probably be the most important one, I think we should say. But she didn't do a Q&A. It was kind of odd. So if anybody knows if she did a Q&A, please let me know. I could be wrong, but I did not see one. I thought it was going to happen today, and I did not see any content today as far as Erica. And the next thing you know, I saw Turning Point USA post some picture saying it's a wrap, or excuse me, it's a wrap or something like that. And I was like, what? Whoa, what just happened? Like, I don't know. It was kind of weird. But we didn't get one, I don't think, unless I'm wrong. Now, the biggest topic of the day, we do have some donkey of the days as well. But I do want to hit the biggest topic of the day, of the night, because it recently just happened and it is relevant to the clip that we just saw. And for the ones that are really brand new to what's going on, that clip that we just saw was 1000%, in my opinion, I guess, because Andrew Cova is about to tell us otherwise. That video was not from Aspen, Colorado in August of 2025. There are so many things that can prove that it wasn't. I'm already spoiling a little bit. Andrew Cova is going to tell us that it was, but there's no way that video was from Aspen in 2025. Charlie looks different, and the video is altered a little bit with AI. His lips don't sync when he says Erica would do a great job. It doesn't seem like a private event. He seemed very informal in what he was wearing compared to some pictures that we have of him at an investors retreat before in Colorado, in Aspen, Colorado. For example, I don't want this sound to play. Oh, it did anyway. For example, this right here is Charlie allegedly in Aspen in 2025, August of 2025, at the private donors event. That's what Andrew Covett wants us to believe. That's what they're selling. That's what they're standing 10 toes on. My issue, outside of all the other weird things going on in this video, the fact that it was only 5 seconds of him saying, I'll appoint my wife as CEO, whatever. And it's only 5 seconds and they still split it in two to show us a clip of them kissing. Why would you split it up? In December, it wasn't split up. It was through and through. I'll appoint Erica as CEO. Erica would do a great job. Or I'll appoint my wife as CEO. Erica would do a great job. It was together. So close that it wasn't natural. But in this 5-second clip, they split it in two. So now it's like, okay, well, why would you have to edit something that's just 5 seconds? Just let it go. And then secondly, that wasn't even the full context of the clip that they decided to play in December. That was like 20 to 30 seconds of Charlie explaining or whatever. And then he finally says, I appoint my wife as CEO of something, whatever happened to me. And we didn't get any of that. And apparently this right here is supposed to be from the same clip. So why would you not just play the entire 20 seconds, 30 seconds through and through? Shut everybody up. But instead, they doctor a 5-second clip, and then they're mad at us for pointing that out. You have a 5-second clip, but you chose to split it in half. You chose to make it super grainy, even though we know Charlie Kirk in 2025, in August of 2025, had extremely, extremely great cameras, high definition. Cameras were amazing. But for some reason, this clip was extremely grainy. His lips don't match. I think this is informal. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, because I mean, they're going to try to gaslight us and all that stuff, but that's my common sense right here. Look at how he's dressing. It seems very informal. And what we can compare it to is him in Aspen before. This is him in Aspen, Colorado at a investor retreat, aka private donor meeting. And look at how formal this setting is. Now, he may be wearing similar clothing. Yeah, seems like he's wearing similar clothing. Or at least very close to it. But look at the setting, the backdrop, the leather couches. That's something that you do for your millionaire, billionaire donors that fund your entire organization. I just don't believe this right here is the same event. Now, Andrew Covett responded, which is very shocking, by the way. We usually don't get a response from Andrew Covett this fast. But we did. Andrew Covett decided to gracefully bless us with a response tonight to everything going on surrounding this secret video of Charlie appointing Erica. And there's so many other things that's wrong with the video as well. I just don't want to get so far into it because that's in the last Yappisode. But the last thing I'll mention about it is that y'all remember in the Daily Mail just dropped 2 weeks ago. I think I could look at a TikTok video when I posted that. 2 or 3 weeks ago, the Daily Mail said Turning Point USA let them see the secret video, and they screened it for a selective group of people, and they decided to use a thumbnail that was like trying to, I don't know, they was trying to make it seem like that was the video, the thumbnail. And it was literally just a TikTok that Charlie was making in Korea. But they used that thumbnail on the front cover saying Turning Point USA showed them the secret video. Then Crystal, I believe, she went, found that TikTok and ended up just being a TikTok video of him being in Korea. So now it's like, okay, what happened to that? What was the point of the Daily Mail article that you made people pay for just to find out in the article there's no video for one? It's just an article saying, trust us, we saw it. They showed it to us. But you chose to use a thumbnail that had nothing to do with what y'all showed us on Friday. It's not even like it was a screenshot. It's not even like it was a screenshot of this right here. Even if it was a screenshot like this, it would make more sense. Because it's like, okay, like at least the screenshot that the thumbnail that they used at least was a screenshot from the actual video that they attempted to give to the public. But the fact that this is not even the thumbnail they used, it's just like, why, bro? What's up with the lies? And y'all want us to just trust y'all. That don't make any, why would I trust you after you doing all of these jumping through hoops and hurdles and lying left and right? It don't make any sense to me. Now, let's get to Andrew Kovet's tweet. Let's see. Here is Andrew Kovet's tweet. Can I zoom in anymore? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm learning. There we go. Here's Andrew Kovet's tweet. Is this good? Nah. Yeah, leave it like that. Here's Andrew Kovet's tweet responding to the shenanigans going on around this video. He says, I haven't chimed in the whole video saga yet because I find the entire thing absurd. Is this how we starting off, Andrew? Sometimes I hate that I didn't read this already before I get on here, just so I can kind of go ahead and process my emotions. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing, I guess, that I'm reading it for the first time right now. But is this how we starting off? You find the entire thing absurd? The fact that y'all lied about all of it? Y'all made this absurd. Y'all made everybody obsessed with this entire thing because y'all are the ones that said, no, it was a secret. It was a secret video that we just, it happened in Aspen in 2025. It happened in private donors event. We can't share it. We can't share it. We can't share it. But just trust us. Charlie definitely went against everything he ever stood for and said he wanted Erica to be the CEO of the organization. Even though we have a board and Charlie Kirk doesn't even own Turning Point USA. So I don't give a freak what Charlie got to say. He don't own the place. So unless the board say Erica appointed, what is Charlie coming out talking about? I appoint my wife. You don't own nothing around here, big dog. You just work here. Just like all of us. You just the face. But the fact that we already starting off the first sentence with gaslighting, you find the whole thing absurd. Bro, the clip is split up and altered and all types of stuff. What? How is that crazy? How do you think we're crazy? Why do you think we're crazy for pointing that out? Okay. Sentence one has already pissed me off. But since this community note is 100% factually wrong and is now impacting how Grok answers legitimate questions, it needs to be corrected. Now, Grok do be tripping sometimes because Grok said, who was it? Project Constitution, the story of Erica Kirk having a little boo thing, right? Blake Wynn, all that. I think, the Shalami soldiers and the Widow Warriors went to the internet hard to defend her. And then every time somebody talked about that story, a community note would pop up and say, this is not true. Erica Kirk said that she was at her birthday party with her kids. And I'm like, Well, why does this community know this? Erica can say whatever she want to say. That don't prove anything. So I can understand the Grok thing, right? Maybe not in this situation. I'm just saying, speaking in general, Grok do be tripping sometimes because Grok was going crazy on that Erica boyfriend allegation story, talking about it's not true because Erica said she was with her kids. I don't care what she said, right? Everybody can say a lot of things. So we'll let that slide. Okay, he got a list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, all right. Let's see. This entire debate only exists because a handful of bad faith actors have spent months trying to attack Erica, destroy the organization her husband built, and divide the movement. What? Let me read this again. This entire debate, like the debate on if the video is real of Charlie Kirk appointing his wife, only exists because a handful of bad faith actors have spent months trying to attack Erica, destroy the organization her husband built, and divide the movement. Dude, she walked out at AmFest with that plan in the background. What were we supposed to say or do? We heard something and we immediately said, I don't know if, first off, that sounded weird, right? It just sounded very weird and strange. Secondly, I don't know if Charlie would ever want that for Erica. That doesn't really sound right. Hey, could you guys provide the video of Charlie actually saying that? No, we can't do that. We can't do that. It was a secret. It was a secret. Charlie told us behind closed doors. See, y'all knew Charlie in a different light. He was capping. Y'all ain't know that. Charlie would go around campus to campus. All these videos, all these debates. He was lying. He was capping to all y'all for some money, for some clicks. Right? For whatever. For any type of influence. He was pandering. Behind closed doors, y'all don't know the real Charlie. He wanted Erica in the field. Hire nannies. That's what I'm getting out of that. I mean, that's what I'm getting out of it from Andrew Kovac. We just didn't know who Charlie really was. Because I think when all of this first went down, we were just like, hey, can you just provide the video? Because I don't believe Charlie would ever say that. Most, if not all of these people attacked Charlie when he was alive, and they found a new target since Charlie is now off limits. I've seen so many people that actually were attacking Charlie. Like they I wouldn't say attack, but they were very critical of Charlie. And then now they're all coming together trying to get the truth and what happened to Charlie and justice for Charlie. I think that's way more telling and interesting. That, for example, Ian Carroll. I've said this before on X, so this is not anything new. Ian Carroll was very critical of Charlie. He used to like say things about Charlie on X and disagree with most of the things Charlie would be talking about because he was kind of looking like a Trump shield at the moment. And Ian Carroll said a lot of things about Charlie Kirk, but once all this went down, even Ian Carroll knew this was wrong. And I'm not saying like that's, you know what I mean? Ian Carroll's a good dude. But I'm just saying in general, there are people that didn't agree with Charlie and they're now defending Charlie's name. You can read, what is that? Rebut lies with all the facts you want, but they don't care and they won't stop. Next is a chin mole missing. Next is AI, et cetera, et cetera. Sorry, I should do like this. There's a pattern continually playing out, and people need to see it for what it is. They launch a conspiracy theory. They say it's a smoking gun. It falls apart. A new theory appears, and the cycle repeats. Dude. Just because you say it a million times doesn't make it true. What conspiracy theory falls apart? Which one? I don't even think it's a conspiracy. I think it's a legit questions that are being raised. It doesn't, the same thing with the fake kids, bro. You sent the picture. You sent the picture to Gary. Gary folded, which I'm not even going to get into that tonight, but Gary got exposed. Gary got exposed for releasing his like Grok history on X. And his history is like, hey, can you come up with different rebuttals and stuff on how I can defend such and such? And can you tell me what not to say? Like, that's and then he literally says, I'm doing stuff with like a group of people. Lisa. Gary snitched on y'all. Anyways, Andrew sent the picture of the kids. And that was a legit concerning thing because those weren't her kids. And he's talking about it falls apart. Okay. Meanwhile, the people making these claims have no obligation whatsoever to prove them. They and their followers condemn the accused as guilty and demand a response to clear their name. Let me make sure I rate that right, because that don't sounds a little hypocritical. They and their followers condemn the accused as guilty and demand a response to clear their name. Bro, ain't that the same thing they do to Tyler Robinson? Don't they say Tyler Robinson is guilty? Aren't all of them walking around saying Tyler Robinson 100% did it? And then they're saying his parents haven't came out and defended him, therefore he must be guilty. Basically saying the parents should put out a response to clear Tyler Robinson's name, but they don't, so that makes him more guilty. They say that 24/7. So now he's using that same theory on us. Well, not really us. I don't know who he's talking to here. But they do the same thing. They do this. I can't even say they do the same thing because I can't say we're doing it. They do this. It's like a projecting thing happening right now. This is what they do. And he's saying this is what we do. Okay. The accused is then expected to respond, defend themselves, produce documents, provide explanations, and somehow prove a negative. But the response is never sufficient because the response was never the objective. It is, though. It is. That's literally what is happening right now. The response is the objective. Something weird has happened. Can you all please respond? Just respond and say, not true. Here's why. Y'all are silent for most of the time. Then when y'all choose to respond, it's a lie. Who wouldn't go crazy after that? Yes, now after that, everybody's demanding responses every single day because you already lied. Don't lie. That's a pretty simple thing to do. Don't lie. If Tyler Robinson was the lone gunman and decided to wake up and do what he did, then all of y'all stories should be pretty straightforward. Just like mine. I don't think me and you should be any different. Me and whoever's on the other side, the op side. Our story shouldn't be different at all. We should be able to come up with something very specific on what we were doing on 9/8, 9/9, or 9/10. I told y'all plenty of times. 9/10, I was at the park with my son. Playing. Boom, notification hit. Charlie been shot. Couldn't believe it. I remember that. You can pull up ring footage around my house where I was. Why is it so difficult to produce for y'all? Then y'all get mad after you lie. You lied. We called the lie out, and then you're mad at us. That is gaslighting. Gaslighting and projecting. You're projecting how y'all feel onto us, and you're gaslighting us, make it seem like we're crazy for calling you out for lying. The goalpost moved instantly. Let me see. Let me try to go back. But the response is never sufficient because the response was never the objective. Goalpost moved instantly. The answer was too defensive, too dismissive, or they find some irrelevant tidbit to pick apart, and they cycle repeats. It's a sucker's game, or you just lie. I mean, I think that's literally it, bro. That's it. You just lie. Just don't lie. I find the video, first off, okay, we finally get into the video. I'm like, bro, he ain't said nothing about the video yet. I find the video largely irrelevant. This is by far one of the most important videos that we need to see. Just so we can be clear and understand that maybe we didn't know who Charlie really was. That's how important this video is. This video would dictate Charlie's legacy. So that way we can just say, okay. Maybe he was just lying. Maybe he got on stage and he was just lying for some, I don't know why he would lie about something like that, but maybe they was doing some type of game that we're not aware of. And in person, he would tell all of these women to be a great wife. Don't worry about the huge careers. Don't worry about trying to go to college for all these years. Find you a man, have a family. If y'all are blessed enough to stay home, if y'all are blessed enough for you to stay home and watch the kids, do that. But Charlie lived the complete opposite lifestyle behind closed doors. Maybe. So just tell us so we can just clarify what's actually going on here. Versus us trying to say, hold on, bro. Like Charlie we have 1,000 hours of footage of Charlie literally saying the opposite. So can you please tell us if he was lying or if you're lying? So for Andrew Colbert to say that the video is irrelevant, that, to be honest, that tells me all I need to know. Because it's very relevant. It's very relevant. Boards do not determine succession based on whether someone can produce a random clip. Boards evaluate leadership, governance, and organizational continuity and the wishes of the founder. In this case, Charlie handpicked the board, communicated his wishes to them, to me personally, on 3 or 4 occasions, to Erica, to okay. Oh, okay. I see where this is going again. Charlie, before he died, we've heard this story before, right? Charlie, before he died, talked to Andrew Colbert in the hotel room. Private. This was undocumented. No phones were in the room. Charlie told Andrew Colbert personally that he wanted Erica to be the new CEO if something were to happen to him. He told Andrew Colbert this 3 to 4 times personally behind closed doors. Now, I want to also throw out there something that Andrew Colbert said that Charlie said to him behind closed doors as well. Andrew Colbert said that Charlie was super afraid of transgenders. Andrew Colbert said it on the show, right? I think we had a Yappisode about this quite a while ago. I can't remember which episode. Andrew Colbert said on the Charlie Kirk show that Charlie told him that he was more worried about transgenders than he was worried about our greatest ally, because he was on the show trying to get us and convince us that Charlie was never afraid about our greatest ally, even though he has text messages to Andrew Colbert saying, I feel like they are going to get me, right after all of the context of him being upset with his donors, which are directly affiliated with our greatest ally. And he chose to go on the Charlie Kirk show and say it wasn't about that. It wasn't, even though Andrew Colbert was the one that sent it over to Joe Kent because he felt like there was foreign involvement. with our greatest ally, because that's what was on the text chain that Andrew Kovac did a screenshot of and sent it to Joe Kent. So even though Andrew Kovac felt like our greatest ally played some type of role, for a second he thought that. That's why he sent it to Joe Kent. But then all of a sudden, flip of a switch, he's on the Charlie Kirk show saying, no, Charlie was never afraid of our greatest ally. He actually was terrified of gay dudes. I'm not going to hold you. He was terrified of, even though he was 6'5", 215 pounds. Y'all just don't know. He couldn't sleep at night. He couldn't sleep at night. At the thought of going to Atlanta and going to Lenox Mall and might seeing a gay guy going up the escalator. He just couldn't sleep at night. He was too worried about the transgender community and the gay community. It bothered him a lot. So anything Andrew Kovac says must be true, because that's the only thing he's going to say. If it's not documented, like if it's not on Charlie's YouTube channel or anything like that, Andrew Kovac's going to say, oh, it's because Charlie talked to me behind closed doors. Y'all don't know this. Y'all don't know the private conversations we had. And don't get me wrong. I believe they had a lot of private conversations, of course. But I refuse to believe, unless all of us just didn't know who Charlie Kirk really was. I refuse to believe that Charlie Kirk had all of these hours of him being on camera to say something, but he chose to never say anything. But instead, behind closed doors, he would tell Andrew Kovac, hey, bro, I really want Erica to get a job. I really do. I'm so sick of it. I need her to get a job. She's just hanging around the house, being a stay-at-home mom. I can't stand that. I ain't gonna lie. I can't stand a stay-at-home mom. I make $300,000 a year, and yeah, my company, I fly private jet everywhere. She needs to get a job. Apparently, he was telling Andrew Kovac that behind closed doors. So, okay, Andrew Kovac, Charlie was a liar, according to you. Maybe we need to take you serious. What would then happen if we were to take Andrew Kovac serious and everybody started to just say, you know what, let's just throw in the towel. Charlie Kirk was a scum. He was just a terrible individual. Can we just all just come together? Like, what would happen then if we just flipped it and soaked in everything Andrew Kovac said and Blake Neff said and Erica said, all of these people that are falsely talking about Charlie? What if we just flipped it and said, you know what, cool, Charlie was terrible. Because you know what, why would Charlie wanted Erica to take his job when Erica said plenty of times that her and Charlie received death threats all the time. It was normal. It was normal. Charlie Ben felt like Turning Point USA was going to be death of him. And you're telling me Charlie was like, nah, I think you should sit in my exact seat if something were to happen to me. Actually, if I were to die, you taking that job would just be amazing, right? I mean, kids don't have one parent. Why not make it two? So I'm just thinking, okay, maybe Charlie was just a bad person. Okay, Andrew Kovac, I'll take you up on that. I'll start thinking about it. Maybe I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was. That board the board voted unanimously to make Erica CEO. That should be the end of the story. No, it shouldn't be the end of the story, Andrew Kovac. It shouldn't be, because anybody on that board that has brain cells would say, hey, I don't even care if you were Charlie's wife. That was a terrible thing that just happened to Charlie. I think you should take just take the year off. How about? Okay. We're running a little low, probably about 700 million left in the bank. So, we are in tough times right now. We don't have to pay taxes on any of this money either. So how about just go live in Turks and Caicos for about a year? I don't worry about the paperwork. Don't worry about running the company. Don't worry about the employees. Don't worry about any of that, man. Like, what just happened was horrific. Go hang out on the most expensive island because we can afford it. You can get on a private jet and go there because you work for a nonprofit. Didn't have to do anything for this money at all. You just work for a nonprofit. So that actually means you do profit when you work for a nonprofit. And Just go live in the Turks and Caicos for about a year. Lay low. You don't got to worry about coming back out. That's what I would think should happen or should have happened with common sense individuals on the board of Turning Point USA. But instead, Andrew Covid is saying, no. All 4, 5, 6 of them was like, Charlie Kirk just died. Erica must be the CEO, and we must get her to say yes within a week. Okay, because that sounds normal. Okay. Yes. Charlie was asked about this once when a camera was on him, and he said exactly what he always did. Erica would take over should something God forbid happen, that she would do a great job. Okay, so he's saying right here that he was only asked this once on camera. So he's basically, I'm sure we're about to get to it, but he's basically insinuating that this video that they tried to show us on Friday did in fact come from August of 2025, because that's the only time he was asked this question on camera. This did not happen at AtCon 2023 in West Palm, as Community Notes wrongly says. He said this in Aspen in 2025 at Investors. AtCon was a large convention with a massive blue stage and thousands of attendees. Investors was a small hotel ballroom with a few hundred attendees and a white and red backdrop. I was at both. Okay, Andrew Corvette. So just like release the video if you were there. Y'all just released 5 seconds of it. So just release the other 20 seconds. Settle. Secondly, this right here, this would make more sense for the investors meeting, right? A backdrop that says investors. So I'm not really buying the whole, oh no, this was an investors meeting, but we decided to have it say building the machine. When we've created backdrops before that says investors retreat, and it has an image of the Aspen Mountains behind them. So I would think that this is probably regularly used. This would make sense. This would fit the setting or fit the scene or fit the scenario. But instead, you want me to sit here and believe that building the machine, this red backdrop with millionaires and billionaires in the room, that is okay, bro. Again, they're just trying to gaslight. It's okay. It's okay. I understand. I'm familiar with your game. Number 6, he is going. Okay, I'm almost done. The building the machine claim is also wrong. In 2023, the theme of AtCon was we are doing the work to save America. When we titled CK's opening speech for a podcast episode, we just came up with a random title, building the machine that Charlie liked. Charlie was from Chicago and always talked about a democratic machine. He wanted a machine built for the right. It was just an episode title, but over time it became something Charlie said more and more. So in 2025, after Trump won the election, Charlie wanted to expand the chase the vote machine that proved so effective. So he made the theme for investors 2025, building a machine. Of course. Why am I not surprised that for the first time in the history of Charlie's life, this investors meeting was different? Of course. Yep. Even though he has investor meetings with backdrops that says investors retreat, because that makes sense. Of course. But nope. Andrew Covett wants me to deny my reality, go away from my gut and say, oh, Charlie didn't go with the investors retreat backdrop. That makes it look a little bit more formal because the millionaires and billionaires are going to be there. No. He wanted to go with building the machine, that backdrop. Okay. That looks like a high school event or college event. Okay, Andrew. Gotcha. I think Community Notes has been a force for good, and I fully support its purpose and mission, but for whatever reason, it's been weaponized in this case to spread disinformation. Hopefully, whatever went wrong here will be corrected both on this note and in the future. Images of the two very different events attached. Blue backdrop is AtCon 2023, while the white and red is Investors 2025. Let's see. Right. Yeah, I'm not buying that at all. I'm not buying that. Facts. Again, another thing that they wanted to try that was new. Of course. Everything about Charlie Kirk in September was brand freaking new. Of course. Story of my freaking life. I'm so tired of hearing that same thing. Oh, we wanted to live stream 9/10. It was new. We never live streamed it before, so we wanted to live stream it. Where did the live stream go? Why don't we have access to that? If you live streamed it, where did that stream go? Seems that nobody wants to bring that up ever again. They went very quiet on that. The fact that it was live streamed when he died, but we don't know where that feed went to. Somebody was watching him. Somebody was waiting for that moment. Somebody wanted to watch it happen. But again, that was the first time. First time for a lot of different things. Apparently, it was the first time he decided to not use the investors backdrop for the investors meeting. Okay. Here it is right here, a better picture of the room. Building the machine with all the chairs around. Sure, Andrew, whatever, bro. AtCon. Okay. I'm not buying it. I don't know if y'all are. I'm not. They have lied to us way too many times for me to believe anything Andrew Kovac has to say. Let us not forget that Andrew Kovac lied, him and Erica lied on the surgeon when it comes to the Superman neck and the magic bullet and the miracles. They lied about that. That is a way more, that is a way bigger lie than this right here, right? If you can lie about that, you could lie about anything. So why would I take your word for it and believe anything you have to say when you lied on a surgeon? And you even said the bullet was found just beneath the neck. And I remember when I saw that, I said, yeah, that's going to come back to haunt you. Because if it's not just beneath the neck, here you are tweeting, lying. And it's still on Twitter. That's the craziest part. And this is, I think, all of this is so weird to me, to be honest. It's so weird. And I think that's why, Friday, I didn't even have crazy emotions when the secret video dropped. I wasn't even finally, and or I wasn't even super pissed to be disappointed, because I expected it to be some BS. I think something's going on right now where Turning Point USA is just slapping everybody in the face. And it's the same thing with our administration, right? I don't know if y'all saw a little bit of that NBC interview today with Trump, and they were like, you campaign on no new wars. Do you feel like you broke that promise, or do you feel like it was something? But it was a simple question, you campaign on no new wars? We're in a war right now. What's up? And he literally said, no, I didn't break that promise. I'm like, you literally did. You oh my gosh, just say you did, and let's just go from there. But in a bet, what's up with these blatant lies, bro? Just say, yes, I did. Unfortunately, that was not my intention at all. But yes, I did. I know what I campaigned on, and I know I'm going against that at the moment. It wasn't my intention. And I promise, as the president, I fight every day to get us up out of that, so that way I can gain the trust of the American people back. Something. Just acknowledge the fact that, yes, bro, you lied. And they won't. They just keep moving. And that's the vibes Turning Point USA is giving me. Is that it's just like, yeah, we know that video is fake of Charlie appointing Erica. We know it's fake. Now, how sick do you have to be as a wife, as a significant other in general? How sick do you got to be where you are such a narcissist, right? You got your entire head is just full of straight air, your air balloon. And your narcissistic tendencies are so bad to the point where you wanted your dead husband to say things that would elevate you, because he would never say it while he was alive. Not that Charlie Kirk would like disrespect Erica anyway. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying we all knew that he just wanted his wife at home watching the kids. So as a narcissist, how good does that make her feel? That this man that everybody looks up to, right? Everybody, he's so influential. One of the biggest conservative voices, if not the biggest conservative voice in this decade. How good is it for her to have Charlie Kirk say, oh man, Erica's phenomenal. Erica could be the president one day. Erica could run my organization probably better than me. Think about that. Think about what that does to a narcissist. Think about what that does to somebody like Erica. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why I think that there is a motive. Because for them to have a dead man say something that he would never say in his entire life while he was alive, which is, Erica, don't worry about the kids. Go get a boss babe, big career job. You would do a great job doing it. Go be the president. Imagine if Charlie Kirk was alive today. Imagine. And they said, do you think Erica should be the president one day? Not that Charlie was like one of those like misogynistic and guys and all of that, but he just likes a traditional wife. He just likes the traditional values and the traditional roles. He just likes his wife at the crib. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you got the money to do so, great for you. But imagine how crazy it is for Erica to want that validation so bad to the point where she said, bro, I need y'all to make my dead husband talk and gas me up. So that way I can have all the youth, all the kids, all the women. Charlie had everybody, right? So all the youth, all the kids, all the women, all the elderly, all them folks. I need all of them to know Charlie Kirk said out his mouth that I'm next up, that I'm actually better than him. I think that's sick. And I think that was 100%. I think that's 100% their thought process. I think that's Erica's thought process. They have to have the validation from the dead man, Charlie Kirk. Without this, it means nothing. They can say all day Andrew Kovac thinks Erica's great. That don't mean nothing. But Charlie Kirk said this about Erica behind closed doors. Oh my gosh, what? Charlie Kirk said that about Erica? Charlie said that she could be the president one day? Charlie Kirk said that she could run Turning Point USA better? You do realize that this organization right now is a $84 million organization based on the 990 returns. You telling me Erica Kirk can run a better, like Q&As, like pick up the mic, college campuses, she can do better? Tell me about this Miss Franz Vey. Tell me about her. And I think it's all intentional. And I think it's a slap in the face. I think it's weird that Turning Point USA is doing all these things blatantly, right in our face, not even hiding. And they just like, yeah, same thing as our administration. That's why I group these people with the elites. I feel like somebody is threatening all of these people. You know, I think Erica's being threatened by somebody. I think Tucker Carlson's being threatened by somebody. I think Andrew Cova is the only person that's actually with the ops. Like he actually works for them. I think everybody else is just, Erica, I don't know. Never mind. I'll take all that back. Matter of fact, everything that I just said 10 seconds ago, forget I ever said that. Forget I ever said that. So that was Andrew Cova's thing. I think Blake also replied. Let me check really quick. Oh, I gotta get some donkey today's at the end. I'll say that for the end tonight. It is. It's all fake and gay. Absolutely. Yeah, Andrew Cova is close with the what did it call that? Adelson family. Yeah. Andrew Cova is for sure an agent. Blake Neff, where you at? I don't know. Blake said something, but he chimed in a little bit. But Tucker, Andrew Cova's response was kind of like it was a lot. So Blake Neff, I guess, is kind of irrelevant. Now, what was funny about all of these things again, it's like, bro, just drop the video. If you just drop the video, then all of this is just settled. That wasn't the video that you dropped on Friday. That wasn't it. Drop the original, and we'll be done talking about it. So that's that. Now, let me switch gears a little bit. And I want to go through, and it's all going to still be related in a way, obviously. It's all still under the same umbrella. But I got a couple of things to show y'all that is just like going into some of the donkey of the days that I've seen today about Turning Point USA and all this other stuff. And like I said, it's all related. So don't you worry. All right. So I see this. I'm looking at this tweet right here. It's the same thing with Andrew Cova that I just talked about, that we just went through. And I'm going through the replies and I'm seeing people say stuff. And I this guy right here. JTC53. By far one of the most feminine dudes on X. I absolutely cannot stand when he comments under my stuff, when he quotes my stuff, because it's just annoying, man. He just comes out of nowhere, out of left field, and just say some BS. I don't even want to go through some of the things he said to me in the past. It's just annoying, and I just can't stand it. I just can't stand the way he looked. Like, just look at this guy, bro. This is the guy that just be on X screaming at everybody. He might be worse than Erica when he just goes around just calling everybody a demon. So this guy comments under Andrew Cova's tweet, and he says, "I watched Charlie Kirk say it at that event when it happened, when it was live streamed." I watched Charlie Kirk say it at that event. Okay. I watched Charlie Kirk say it at that event when it happened, when it was live streamed. People like Candace Owens knows Charlie said it, but all they do is lie and smear and lie. Community Notes is broken. It's 100% weaponized, and Elon Musk refuses to fix it. And I thought, oh, so you saw the video, right? You saw it because it was live stream. So my common sense, right? It went off. Ding, 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 ding. Where's the live stream? Send the link. That's the immediate thought process I went to. You saw it live, Jay, right? I cannot stand that we share the same name. please, you might need to put your whole government name out there, bro. We both cannot be Jay. I don't like that at all. It only could be one J on X. It can only be one J anywhere. And it can't be you. I'm okay if I have to surrender mine to somebody better than this person. But I thought, okay, cool. So if it's live stream, I have to see this somewhere. What do you know? Somebody says right here, can you share the link to the live stream where he said it? I said, oh, Sierra, you are a genius. That is great. Great question. I am wondering the same thing. Do y'all have any idea what Jay's response is going to be? I don't want to call this guy Jay. JTC53. That sounds a little better. I don't like saying my own name affiliated with this guy. Can you share the link to the live stream where he said it? Jay says, JTC53 says, I don't own the link. It happened. They showed the video. I saw when it happened. And when Charlie got killed, I knew Erica was going to take over. This isn't a grand conspiracy. It's only conspiracy to the R word. Y'all can see it right here. I know everybody's sensitive. Back in the day, you used to be able to say it, but now you like they call you all types of names in the book now if you say this. It's only a conspiracy to the R word people like you who listen to Candace Owens and R word people who lie for a living for money. Congratulations. I told y'all this dude is angry. He's an angry little person probably. Or if he's big, he just got a lot of steroids going through his blood or something. But this guy clearly comes out guns blazing, going at this girl, and all she said was, "Hey, I just want the link. That's it. You the one that said that you have the link. You said you have the link. All I want to do is just say, can you share the link so I can see it?" And he comes out and calls her the R word twice. And it says, I don't own the link. Nobody said you had to own the link, bro. Just send the link. Why would you bring it up if you can't share the link with me? And he says it happened. They showed the video. I saw it when it happened. So once again, this is one of those situations where somebody's like, trust me. Trust me, I saw it. Look, listen, I don't doubt. I mean, I kind of do doubt it, but I don't have to believe you at face value, right? If you're the one that brought the link up. So just send me the link and then I'll go check to see if you're telling the truth. And he doesn't. So he actually keeps responding to her. Where'd it go? Oh, he had to delete it. He was not done. He was not done. I read it already. He was not finished. And you see this person right here said, so let me get this straight. Asking for the link for the live stream is now bad to ask for. It clears up everything. If you just post the whole video, I don't understand why that is controversial. Sierra said, he told me I'm the dumbest person on the planet. Said he watched it on YouTube. No link provided. And then he blocked me. Mind you, this is a woman. Sierra, this is a woman just asking this guy JTC53 for a link, and JTC53 blocks her after she asked for a link. Bro, I would never respond to this dude ever again. I responded to him like once, and I knew who he was because I used to see his tweets under other people's stuff before, and I'm like, bro, this is straight rage bait. This is straight rage bait. This guy blocks a woman just because the woman said, hey, can you send me the link? Since you brought up that you saw Charlie Kirk say this on live stream, and then you block her. So now, again, this does not help the people who represent that side, right? Your JTC53s, your Lisas, your Garys. Because it's like, okay, if you want me to believe what you're saying, just show me what you're saying. So that way, because I'm open to it all. Even though they're going to gaslight us and say we're not open to anything. No, our entire side is open to it all. Like, bro, please show me what you're talking about. Show me, just show me. And if you bring a legit great side of the argument and you say, look, this is what I have. look at this. And we can analyze it. I can say, oh, I can see what you're saying. But from the person outside looking in, how am I now supposed to feel when you have this guy, JTC53, saying, I saw Charlie Kirk say it on live stream. And then somebody's like, oh, really? Can you send it to me? Oh, you're a dumb person for asking me that. Okay, so now I don't believe you. It's like, now I don't believe you. And you made me not believe you. Right? I gave you the benefit of the doubt because I don't know you. We don't just meet people and assume they're liars. It doesn't work that way. Human nature doesn't work that way. Somebody has to give you a reason to not trust them anymore. Outside of that, you get the benefit of the doubt because I don't know you yet. Then once I get to know you, then I'll start analyzing how I feel about you. Or when you start telling me stuff, I'll tell somebody else, yeah, you got to take what they say with a grain of salt because they, you know what I mean? You don't say you got to take somebody's word with a grain of salt on the first time you ever meet them. It's crazy. But that was the first one. It didn't end there. I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe, because when I saw that, he said, yeah, I saw the link. I was like, whoa. Okay, I'm interested. And he said that. I was like, oh my gosh, of course. Thank you, JTC53. Thank you. Now, on a much more funnier note, I have to show this because I really was dying laughing earlier. But someone created an AI clip of Charlie, a real like funny version AI clip of Charlie, and I gotta show y'all this.
I appoint Benjamin Netanyahu to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Bibi would do a great job.
I appoint Jeffrey Epstein to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Jeff would do a great job.
I appoint Laura Loomer to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Larry would do a great job.
Bro, I literally lost everything I had when he said Laura Loomer. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is when it comes to Laura Loomer. I just die laughing because nobody in this world should ever take her serious. Nobody. And I literally was cracking up. He said, I'll appoint Laura Loomer to CEO if something were to happen to me. Bruh, that junk was so funny. Larry would do a great job. I was crying earlier today. That was so funny. So that ain't no donkey today. But I had to show y'all that because that had me crying and laughing earlier. But I mean, that just goes to show y'all how easy it is too, that like how to use AI. I mean, AI is so crazy. So that's why it's so funny, because people are like, yeah, it is AI. Like, look how easy it is. I can just make Charlie say this. And that's literally what they do. They make Charlie say anything. Then I saw some more interesting things today. And some of y'all might know who this person is. But this guy is an interesting individual right here. Another donkey of the day. We have this guy right here that says, Jesus knows Erica. Candace, he doesn't recognize. And mind you, he says some interesting things throughout the day. I don't know who this person is. But I've seen his content. Like, I don't like know him personally, but like, I've seen his content, and he's on the Widow Warrior. He's a Widow Warrior. But he talks about, he defends Turning Point USA all the time. He defends Erica all the time. But I saw a couple of things. Like, look at this one. Candace could have brought so many people to the Lord if she wasn't so busy leading them to the devil. I mean, I guess we've seen enough. Okay. I don't know who this guy is, but clearly somebody's paying him. I mean, okay, we've seen enough. I guess it does make sense. I guess I've answered my own question. But he talks bad about Candace quite often and says some crazy things, similar to what I just showed you about, you know, Erica does this while Candace does this, and I'm just like, what? I'm not even going. I just answered my own question on who that person was. So I'm not even going to deep dive into that person right now. Another thing I saw today that was very alarming was this clip right here. So prepare yourself. You might feel a little rage bait. You might get a little upset. That's the point. I have to bring things to the table that raises your blood pressure a little bit at midnight. I have to. Well, what else am I here for? I love y'all.
22:22. You shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you afflict them in any way.
Oh, let me give y'all a little heads up. That way I can at least, preempt you on what's about to happen. This person right here, somebody else could tell me who this is. I don't even really care. So one of them speakers for this women's conference, she goes on her Bible app, she types in widow, and then she saves every single Bible verse that talks about a widow, puts it on her phone, and just reads it to the hundreds and thousands of women at this conference. Or not hundreds of thousands, but hundreds or thousands. She reads that list of Bible verses to these girls, women, with no context. Just reads it to them. So let's see how she reads it and how she says it to these girls and women. Or these women and girls, and how they respond to it as well. This is for sure a donkey of the day.
Allow me to step out very boldly right now. Exodus 22:22. You shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you afflict them in any way and they cry out at all to me, I will surely hear their cry and my wrath will be hot. Deuteronomy 27:18. Cursed is the one who perverts the justice due, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow. Isaiah 1:17. Learn to do good, seek justice, rebuke the oppression, defend the fatherless, plead for the widow. Jeremiah 22:3. Do no wrong and do no violence to a stranger, the fatherless, or the widow. Malachi chapter 3, verse 5. I will come to you. I will come near you for judgment. I will be a swift witness against sorcerers and against those who exploit the wage earners and oppress the widow and the fatherless. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 3. Honor widows. James chapter 1, verse 27.
Oh, she almost forgot that one. I'm not done. I have to just pause a little bit so I don't get like no copyright or nothing. Them folks be hating a little bit when they know that you talking about them. Bro, these girls ain't even hearing the scripture. They're not even listening to the scripture. They just waiting for her to say, the widow. Like what, bro? Oh my gosh, dog. These women are so lost. These women are so thank the Lord that hopefully the 80 people and 63 people in this chat right now, the 120 to 130 people listening, I am so glad and thankful. I don't know. Sometimes y'all it be some ops in here, so I don't know. I'm so glad and thankful that y'all didn't spend y'all hardworking money and go out here and listen to these folks. I'm so glad. This is so crazy. This is so disappointing. What are we doing right now? These are supposed to be women leading like these women to some type of, I don't know, giving them great advice in life, Like, even if you want to be completely honest, whether it was BS, whether it was fake, because I told y'all already, in my opinion, I feel like Charlie and Erica didn't really have, you know what I mean? They didn't have the credentials to sit on a stage to tell everybody what a great marriage looks like. You know what I mean? And please take what I'm saying, like open your heart a little bit on what I'm saying. Even though I'm literally taking out everything that we know about Erica, right? I'm turning that off. I'm turning that completely off. I'm just saying we're just keeping it a full buck right now. Charlie and Erica was only married for 3 years. 3, right? He's dead. So I'm not saying they've been married for 4 years. They've been married for 3 years. They had no reason to go on that stage and give people marriage advice on what a great marriage looks like and what you should and should not do. No. The only people that qualify for the blueprint to a great marriage is maybe 10 plus years. 10 plus years, we can talk. But you're not even out of the threshold of the 50% of people get divorced. They're not even out of that threshold at 3 years. So, it's stuff like that where I'm like, I don't agree with that. I don't think they knew the different keys and how to. I don't think so, bro. I don't know why. I don't know. I can't agree with Charlie on that one. However, I don't think Charlie right now will want these folks on the stage pushing this feminist type content, right? I ain't talking about this widow content. This is crazy, right? Obviously, this wouldn't even make sense for Charlie to be alive and widow content to be pushed. I'm just talking about this feminist movement that's been going on. Because even when she had Caroline Levitt on the other month or whatever, it was this feminist movement. Like, it's okay to be a boss babe. It's okay to be a boss babe. Like, go do that. Go get that career, bro. Like, they're pushing feminist movements now. So, like, I don't think Charlie would love that right now. Love all of this. And he definitely would not like the Bible to be manipulated in situations like this. If you're going to preach about the Bible, provide context. You have to, or else you're just manipulating it to fit whatever narrative you want to. The Bible is all about perspectives, right? It says one thing and then you can apply it to anything in your life. Absolutely anything. That is the beauty of the Bible, to be honest, because you could find a scripture on almost every single thing in your life. And you would say, dang, like whatever you're going through right now, whatever it is, you could find a verse and somehow you'd be like, dang, that's exactly what I'm going through right now. I can get that same verse and say, dang, that's exactly what I'm going through right now. And me and you are going through two different things. That's the Bible. But that's why you have to explain it with context to these people and what that means. You don't just say a verse and then just move on. Because you got to think about it. Right now, with this very moment, all these women in here and the tension around TPUSA is Candace Owens and people not liking Erica and all this other stuff. So if you just come out with a Bible verse and you just say the Bible verse and move on, then everybody else is going to take that, perceive it as something and misinterpret it into something totally different than what the Bible is actually talking about. How about you explain what the Bible meant in that verse and who God or whoever the author was or whoever it was, who they were talking to, what it was about, what was the context in that very moment in that passage. And then maybe you can apply it to your everyday lifestyle and whatever it is. You can't just say a scripture and then just move on, because that's what they're doing. Charlie would hate that. If you want to be completely, maybe I don't know Charlie. I don't know. That's the moral of the story tonight. Maybe I don't know Charlie. Maybe I'm just confused. Maybe Charlie would love what he's looking at on stage and hearing of these women just pushing BS. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, she don't even know the scripture. She's looking down every 2 seconds, trying to figure out what the next one is. She can't even explain the scripture, because if she could, she would. But she can't. And Erica was the same way. All these women, most of them, especially Erica, though, they can't say anything without looking down. But that woman screamed from the crowd and said, Erica defends pedos. And y'all remember Erica was like, y'all remember she did that look? She almost broke her character. Right? Her mask almost slipped. Even she had to look back at her paper and read her script to reprogram and said, happiness comes and goes. And I hope you find it one day. What? You had to read the paper for that? She had to look down, right? She had to look down. And then she said that. She looked down and said, happiness comes and goes. And I hope you find it one day. You can't even say that without reading the paper. Is you real? I don't think you're real. I don't think you're real. Something's going on. The fact that you can't just look at her and watch her get escorted out and then just say something off the top of your head. Just say something. Just talk. She has to read the paper and look down and say, woman protesting me. This is what I should say. It's just disappointing. It's crazy. And I'm sorry. It's about a minute left for the ones that are just loving this content. So yeah, please, shall we? Continue, Miss Ma'am. I don't know what your name is, Miss Ma'am, but continue, please.
Pure and undefiled religion before God and the Father is this: true widows. James chapter 1. Verse 27, pure and undefiled religion before God and the Father is this: to visit orphans and widows in their trouble. Our Lord God defines himself as a, quote, father to the fatherless and a defender of widows. God has ordered his church to care for widows, that widows be included so they are not isolated, to protect widows, to care for widows, to not persecute a widow in the most ungodly of ways because you're jealous that you are not the one controlling an organization that widow's husband built.
Oh, that's what this is about. Oh, that's what this is about. I was waiting for you to slip your mask a little bit. This ain't about you just preaching, right? Even though that the preaching sounds performative. Y'all know when the preachers get on Sundays and all that, when you got your sermons, how like they got that voice, you know what I mean? When they trying to get you going, because it happens, you know what I mean? It happens. Let's not act like I just go to the only church where I'm like, oh, here go that part. You know, when you hit that one part of the sermon and they just, you know what I mean? When they start going crazy like that. For the ones that know. But she tries to do this like this voice about the widows and sounds so powerful. And it's not landing, Miss Ma'am. It's not landing. I can tell you rehearsed it. That's the bad part. I can tell you rehearsed the part that you said, hey, I'm going to add a little bit more emphasis on the widows. I can tell. And when you can tell, it looks terrible. Right? It got to be a little bit more natural. But this is not your natural state, is it? You can't even, I mean, look at you. You don't, I don't know what's going on with you up here. But it didn't land. I know you had all of those high schoolers and young college kids and girls that y'all probably paid to be out there for. Maybe they was part of them fake chapters that y'all got out there, all front seats. All of these chapters from around the country. You know, now that I think of it, that's probably what it was. It's probably, let's see, they listed 3,000 chapters, probably 500 of them are real, and they probably told all 500 to come to this this women's leaders conference. And that's why the crowd is so packed, because you just had a whole bunch of employees in the building. But there's no way in the world that any normal person here was moved by that at all. And just because the Yap community so gracefully wanted to hear you again for the last couple of seconds, I'll play you again.
Father to the fatherless and a defender of widows.
Widows. Don't talk about the widows.
God has ordered his church to care for widows, that widows be included so they are not isolated, to protect widows, to care for widows, to not persecute a widow in the most ungodly of ways because you're jealous that you are not the one controlling an organization that widow's husband.
See, even this part right here, she hit that voice a little bit too early. Yeah, you know what I mean? It was just a little bit too early. You can kind of tell.
Jealous, not
She was supposed to just say the widows, but she ended up saying a whole 2 sentences in that same tone. So it was kind of off.
persecute or protect care for widows, that widows be included so they are not isolated, to protect widows, to care for widows, to not persecute a widow.
See, that was supposed to be it. The sentence was supposed to end right there, but she kept going in the same tone.
In the most ungodly of ways because you're jealous that you are not the one controlling an organization that widow's husband built.
Look at him standing up. There's a whole bunch of birds in the stands. There's a whole bunch of birds in the crowd. That's all it is. And it's just it's so sad. And let me say this, bro. The whole, what time? It's 12:16. I'm sorry. I know I drank an Alani. So I do need to keep track of time because last time I drank an Alani, we was on for a while and I didn't even realize it because I was so zooted. But let me say this, bro. The whole Candace Owens is jealous of Erica, right? Because that's what she just said. Let me just make sure I'm not tripping.
To care for widows, to not persecute a widow in the most ungodly of ways because you're jealous that you are not the one controlling an organization that widow's husband built.
Okay, so I don't know. Is Candace jealous of Erica the widow? Let's see. That means she would have a dead husband. Her husband's alive. This is no shot at all at Charlie. You know, it's no shot. I'm just speaking on the people that continue to say that Candace is jealous of a widow. That is a weird thing to say. I don't think anybody would be jealous of a widow. It's a very unfortunate situation. I wouldn't be jealous of a widow. It's kind of weird. That would mean that I would be in a situation where my husband's dead. So saying that she's jealous of a widow just doesn't land. And she's not the first person to say it, but I don't get that at all. She also has a lot going on for herself. For herself. So when they bring up she's jealous of Erica, I'm just like, y'all are acting like Candace Owens doesn't have like everything going on right now as an independent journalist. She makes a lot. She has a family of 4, right? Speculations say 5 on the way. She found her husband very, very quickly. She was in Russia. She's everywhere. Everywhere she goes, she got 1 million people with a mic in her face. Why would she want to be a widow in fake control of a Zionist organization that she has no control over? That sounds terrible. Right? I don't feel bad for Erica, but like in general, like I feel bad for anybody in that situation. So why? Like that makes 0 sense. Nobody, and I mean nobody, I don't think any of us right now is jealous of Erica. I would not. I don't care what stars aligned, or what stars would align. I would never in my life trade spots with Erica Kirk. And I know I'm a man, so just hear me out. I'm not, you know what I mean? Follow me here. I'm just saying, even if roles were reversed, I would not want to be Erica, bro. I wouldn't want a dead husband, and I would not want to be in an organization that seems infiltrated to the maximum. And then you have Candace Owens out here she can say whatever she wants. She doesn't take any money from anybody else. I just that just doesn't land for me. I need something else. Come on, Ms. Ma'am. You got to do better. That was very terrible. And I also think it's very scary for the women out here. who went to that conference, listening to these I don't know, but and allowing these people to manipulate the Bible, weaponize the Bible in front of all of these women. And you have to remember, Erica Kirk is a CEO. So she's somebody that was in cahoots with all of these women and said, hey, come on my platform. I'll platform you. Come up. So Erica's leading the way. That is, I don't know, man. That was very, 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 very weird. Let me see if I got anything else. I do. Hopefully this is the last thing. I don't know. I told y'all a lot happened. A lot has happened tonight. So you know, I told y'all we just. Oh my gosh, that happened too. Okay. Hopefully I can you know what I mean, get through this. So, oh my gosh, I don't know where to start. All right. Yes, while we're on the topic, this person right here. Speaking of women, this person right here, Dana Loesch, one of them. Dana, who has a large following, 1.3 million followers, and 1.3 million people, I'm assuming, saw this right here. Heckler derails Erica Kirk speech at annual Turning Point USA Women's Summit. Dana says, pray for the soul of the godless demon who saw fit to torment a widow that they may repent and yet be saved. Loesch. Oh, okay. Dana Loesch. Yeah, so apparently if you make fun of a political figure, you're expected to repent. Dog, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. But this is like a prime example of why you have to keep the church and the state separated, because you have people that are trying to be political figures, right? Erica Kirk trying to be political figures. And you got people up here talking about if you disagree with the political figure, you must repent because you're a demon. That is diabolical. Imagine, hypothetically speaking, let's just say all of us, all eight, how many people in America? Like 300 million or something like that. Imagine if majority of us lost a few brain cells coming 2028 November election time, and we said, hey, I think we should vote for Erica Kirk. Let's just say, imagine she somehow is the president one day, vice president, whatever, you follow me here. And she says, you know what I think we should do? I think we should invade Canada, take the whole thing over, bomb the whole thing. Imagine if Erica said that, because God told me to. And imagine us disagree with her on any type of policy. That might be very extreme. But imagine if we disagreed on anybody on any type of policy, and they use scripture against us, which is happening more and more, right? It's kind of scary. And when we disagree with these political figures, they're like, you must repent. Jesus would be so disappointed in you. You must repent. You have a demon inside of you, because what I said is that we should take over Canada. And you're out here protesting me, saying that I'm making terrible decisions. Well, you know what? I'm a child of God. God will never lead me astray. So you need to repent, because I don't think you know the one and true Lord. You need to repent because you have a demon inside of you. That is scary times. And that's exactly what they trying to push on us. That Erica Kirk, the political figure, is God, I guess. Well, I don't know where they're getting at here, but widows have done wrong things in the past, right? There's no such thing as zero widows ever have never committed a crime, have never actually did the crime. If that was a thing and it was zero, totally different. But she wouldn't be the first, nor would she be the last. So that's why I'm like, why are y'all acting like this is just a crazy thing to put out there that she could be acting a little suspicious. And she could be another one of those widows that may have actually did something. So I couldn't believe seeing that, man. It was very odd. The last thing I'll show, because I could sit here all freaking night showing stuff. Because so many things happen and I have so many thoughts, and I typically try to wait until I get to talk to the Yap community about some of this stuff. Because it's just diabolical. But speaking of political figures, we also have JD Vance, right? I'm steamrolling through some of these donkey of the days. We also have JD Vance make it donkey of the day. JD Vance says he had to put out a book. It says Charlie Kirk had a profound impact on me, both during his life and as I discuss in this excerpt. Man, I'm terrible with words, bro. Yeah, excerpt. I gotta need my glasses. That's what I can't see none of this stuff. For my new book, after his death, this was hard to write about. My fault. Yeah, this was hard to write about, but I hope you'll find it meaningful. And JD Vance wrote a book and included Charlie Kirk. I appreciate it. I really can't see. My eyes are. I need glasses, but I ain't wearing that. If I put on glasses, I'm gonna officially feel old. I already got to wear them every now and then for road trips. When I'm driving for multiple hours, I got to wear my glasses for road. I ain't trying to do that on the everyday stuff. Glasses make your eyes worse because now my eyes are gonna depend on that medicine. So then when I take them off, I'm blind. I try not to wear them. But we got JD Vance here writing a book to Charlie Kirk, and you can see the link down here, and it says, "What I learned about faith and fatherhood from Charlie Kirk." Now, let's keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, JD Vance is a father of 4. Father of 4, right? 3 walking and 1 cooking in the oven. The 3 that are walking are all older than Charlie Kirk's oldest. So if we just want to just put 2 and 2 together, right? I'm not the smartest person ever, but I would think that JD Vance at 41 years old with 3 kids, all over the age of 4, has been there and done that. Been there, done that. But yeah, he's trying to tell us that Charlie Kirk taught him a lot about fatherhood. Oh, okay. Charlie Kirk, the one that his oldest child is 3 years old, has taught you a lot about fatherhood. You're 41. You're a decade older than Charlie. Listen, I'm not saying it's impossible, but to write a book about Charlie Kirk teaching you something on fatherhood, yo, I'm just starting to think that y'all are the real grifters here. Charlie Kirk, if we just be honest, Charlie Kirk didn't teach you nothing about fatherhood, buddy. He didn't. You had kids before Charlie Kirk even had a child. 2 of your kids, actually. You had 2 kids before Charlie Kirk even probably thought about having children. One of your girls, I think it's a girl, is 9. Okay? 9. Your other one is like 6. Your youngest one is like 4. You already knew what you was doing. And then remember, let's not forget. If y'all saw the article, I wish I pulled it up. If y'all saw the article the other day, Usha, I think is his wife's name. JD Vance, Usha, whatever. They put out an article the other day saying that they chose to get pregnant again all because of Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk. When Charlie Kirk died, Erica and Usha hugged or something like that and talked about something. And JD Vance and Usha shouted out Erica Kirk, and they're, I guess, wanting to make love to each other and have another child. They shouted out Erica Kirk about that. Y'all knew that? How weird are these people? Imagine that. Imagine sharing that. You know what? After talking with Erica Kirk, I decided that me and my wife should just go home and get it on. Because Erica Kirk inspired us Erica Kirk told us, even though this is a very weird conversation because Charlie's dead, but apparently Erica Kirk got us motivated to go home and play a little bit, role play a little bit. I'm like, what are we talking about? That makes no sense. So Erica Kirk motivated them to have a fourth child, and Charlie Kirk taught JD Vance a lot about fatherhood. I didn't think that I was going to hear that at all in my life. But when you die, they control you. They control the ghost of Charlie. They make him say whatever they want. I just think it's just very weird. It's just so weird. And the last thing I'll say before we get to these comments. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, 12:30. The last thing I'm gonna bring up before we get to these, before I get to y'all comments, is the woman's leader. Let me see, Young Women's Leaders Summit. Young Women's Leader Summit. Oh, here we go. Young Women's Leadership Summit. There was some talk going on the internet. I won't say this is donkey of the day, but it's just like they don't help themselves. So Candace called out the Young Women's Leadership Summit for changing its name. You can see right here. Candace says it's no longer, let me try to zoom in. Notice it's no longer called the Young Women's Leadership Summit because they've completely lost the youth since Charlie's passing. This is RNC Light. It's now the Hags Nagging Summit with donors occupying speaking slots to lecture women about how it's biblical to not question anything. Turning Point no longer has anything to do with Charlie Kirk, and the whole world knows it, including them. No spark, no energy, no debate. Frankly, stale. And then some Alex Clark said something about they was transitioning away from Young Women's Leadership Summit. It's kind of pointless to what I'm about to show. What I am about to show, though, is that this person decided to provide a screenshot of some text messages with Charlie Kirk. Mr. Charlie Kirk himself from behind the afterlife. This person says, Lauren, and she works for Turning Point, obviously. She says, can confirm. CK first suggested changing the name in 2021. It's been a topic of discussion internally for years. And you can see the screenshot right here. Lauren and Tyler and Charlie. And Charlie says in 2021, I think we change Young Women's Leadership Summit to Women's Leadership Summit. And this year it was Women's Leadership Summit. And that's the screenshot she chose to provide. So now my question is if y'all talked about it so much. Oh, I guess Alex Clark's tweet is a little relevant. So let me show it right quick because she's the one that said this. She said, actually, it's because my podcast has been bringing in massive numbers of young women and young moms for years. The transition away from Young Women's Leadership Summit started long before Charlie passed away. Charlie was fully aware of it and agreed it needed to happen because the conference had outgrown the name. The audience isn't just young women anymore. It's American women. What? That's, okay. Whatever. Okay, Alex. As for understanding our audience, I'd worry less about ours and more about the fact that yours seems to consist primarily of leftist hate watching and rushing bots. By the way, how did Putin taste? Oh my gosh. Apparently, if you don't like Erica Kirk, you're automatically a Democrat. But that's besides the point. She says that they've been discussing changing the name for years. So then I thought immediately, I said, okay, if y'all been discussing changing the name for years, and just last year it was called Young Women's Leadership Summit, just last year, then why provide a text message of Charlie saying, let's change the name in 2021? That's 5 years of context missing. And on top of that, last year, it was still called Young Women's Leadership Summit. And this is my problem I have with these people, is that if you're going to bring receipts, if you're going to drop text messages, then drop the full truth. Thank you for providing the text message, but the text message is from 2021. And then y'all cropped everything except that. I mean, I just don't know what the full context is. Point is, since 2021, it remained the Young Women's Leadership Summit for the next 4 years. So clearly in 2021, nothing really happened from there. But then Alex Clark says, oh, we've been discussing it for years. Okay. In person with no phones? If you've been discussing it for years, can you at least show us something close to 2025? Can you show us something in 2025 that says, hey, maybe this is the last year of Young Women's Leadership Summit and next year we'll change it because they do it in June. Charlie was still alive. Can you show us something? No, instead y'all show us nothing. The name changes. And then we just pointed out, again, the public just point out, hey, by the way, this used to be about young women, right? This used to be about young women and leading them in the right direction. Now you got all of these old folks in the crowd. You got Miss Ma'am on the stage talking about protect the widows. And we just trying to figure out what's going on. What happened to young women getting up there and leading the way, or at least giving the young women more advice besides, hey, if you see somebody saying something about Eric or Kirk, go hit them with a bat. Like, instead of that, like, where is the leadership, right? The Young Women's Leadership Summit. Y'all changed the name this year. What happened? Oh, that's because Charlie said in 2021 he wanted to change it. Huh? That doesn't help me. That doesn't settle me at all. If you don't want me to question, if you don't want me questioning all of these things that y'all bring up, then you need to be more clear when you decide to drop the receipts and facts. If you do that, I won't question anything. Hey, why did y'all change the leadership summit? The Young Women's Leadership Summit this year. Why did y'all change the name? Oh, that's because Charlie said that he wanted to change the name back in June. He wanted to, this was the last year, and here it is right here, us talking about it. Okay, cool. That makes sense. But no, here we are again with something else that was brand new. A new name for the Women's Leadership Summit. Charlie wanted that back in 2021. I don't have any more text messages to prove it. Charlie wanted that. So we got a new name. We got on 9/10, new things happen on 9/10. Everything is just always so brand new. The investors retreat in Aspen, they decided to change the backdrop to say, instead of the investors retreat backdrop saying investors retreat, we decided to change it for the first time ever and have the backdrop say building the machine. Okay, bro. I don't know, man. They do this to themselves. It's just ridiculous, man. It's almost like all of them are like just a little far behind when it comes to just having a little bit more up top. All of them. But I appreciate y'all for listening. It is time to get to y'all comments. Yeah, I know it definitely was late for sure. It was so much to talk about. I appreciate y'all for listening. And somehow the later we get, the more people are watching. So I don't know if the mountain time, well, West Coast, I don't know where y'all coming from, but somehow more people are listening the later it gets. But let me get to some of y'all comments. I appreciate y'all for listening. Make sure you guys hit the like button. I don't know how many likes we're at right now. Let me see. Let me check. See what it's doing. But make sure you guys hit the like button, whether you're on your way in, whether you're on your way out. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the sub button as well. We're on the road to 22K, and I definitely appreciate all the support along the way. Let me check these likes right quick, because obviously we got to hit a goal. We at 76 right now. 77 is 89 people in the chat. I just liked the video myself. So don't be weird. Don't be, you know what I mean? You probably, probably talking to you. You probably didn't like the video yet. Right? So like the video. Let's see if we can get to, I'll meet you halfway. 85. That ain't even really 80. That's not even halfway, really. Yeah, we can do that. 86. Meet me halfway. 86. Let's get to 86 likes by the time we done with the comments. And then I'll be happy. I'll be happy. But let me get to some of y'all comments. Let's see. Good topic. It's a real possibility. I hope he was really who he presented himself to be, but we have to consider the possibility that he wasn't. I agree with you, Elena. I do. Because that's what they continue to try to push. They try to push on us that we didn't really know who Charlie Kirk was. And the version that we knew was just for show. He just did it for clicks. He just did it, in front of the camera. But behind closed doors, apparently he was pushing for the complete opposite of dang near every topic he has ever talked about. So it's interesting. I want to stay firm on the fact that we clearly know who Charlie Kirk was and he would never say any of these things. But isn't it just interesting that his closest friends, his wife, his organization, all of them are like, bro, y'all have him all wrong. Like even though Trump is doing the absolute most and he is completely lying about what he campaigned on, Charlie would get up there and say, no. He never said anything about no new wars. Y'all are tripping. Apparently Charlie was going to get up there and say that. Apparently Charlie was in favor of the Iran war. I never followed Charlie closely. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. What is that? 1148, man. I am sorry. I completely missed your super. I think the hostile takeover started with Tyler Boyer and Erica. They placed the long game. Neff is just a puppet. I agree. It started with Tyler Boyer and Erica. Yes, I agree. I think it did start with Tyler and Erica. Andrew COVID is a weird one too, because he kind of like forced his way in the orbit. But Tyler Boyer and Erica for sure is like the two-headed snake. Them two knowing each other for a while. Them two, I think, being some type of half cousins and stuff like that. That's odd. You know what I mean? Like, how are you half cousins? But then y'all are like, I don't really know who she is. I met her here. You know what I mean? Like, they just lying. Like, bro, that's family. That's your kin. You know her. And they sit here talking about, I don't recall when we met. Y'all probably was playing at the park together at 10. You know exactly who Erica is, and you know exactly who Tyler Boyer is. So, yeah, they are very interesting characters. And every day I definitely wonder, how much did Charlie know about all of this? You know what I mean? I think he knew about a few, maybe surface level conversations, but I think he didn't know how deep it went. I don't think he ever asked Erica, like, when did you meet Tyler Boyer? How do y'all know each other? And if he did, she probably lied or told him a white lie or said something very vague, and Charlie just believed it. So, yeah, I agree. I appreciate. Thank you for the donation. I'll be lurking, retwisting my hair, but it's 9:50 here in Chicago. I appreciate y'all for listening. Just throwing the daily yap in the background. I appreciate it. I never followed Charlie closely before this, but it's just so hard to believe he was in it only for only the right reasons and so blind to it all. I get being love struck, but how do you not notice? That's exactly what it is, though. He was very naive when it came to a lot of things, and that's a real thing. That's why, so many people can connect with this case and connect with all of these characters because it's a real life situation. Charlie being naive has happened to probably all of us before, especially when it comes to women or vice versa when it comes to men. We've all had somebody that we just would not let go for the better. That way we could move on and be a better individual. We kept somebody around that just brought us down all the time because of whatever. We're young. We just do dumb stuff. And so it happens. That's the part about just keeping it honest. Charlie was not a perfect individual. Charlie lacked in a lot of places, but that's just, that's the thing. You hope to find a partner one day that, their strengths are your weaknesses, and you come together and, your strengths are their weaknesses, and you kind of work as a team versus their weaknesses being like exploited and taken advantage of, because I think that's what the case was. Charlie was very naive when it came to women, and Erica ate that up. I mean, just being completely honest, but he never, he never experienced any of that before. Next thing you know, he has a 28, 29, 30-year-old woman in his face, probably laying it thick. That's just being honest, man. Like that's crazy. He's probably never experienced any of that. He definitely hasn't. Not probably at all. So he was naive to it. I think he was also naive to the money. Yes, he was much younger than Erica. Like I said, he was 24 years old. They might have met before, but when they officially, got it going, I think he was also naive with the money as well. You think about it, he's 24 years old. You can go back and look at his 990s. He was 24 years old, making six figures. Making 200 something K by 25, 26. So I think he was also naive to the money because Candace has said it publicly as well that she's tried to tell him that all money ain't good money. And we all know that. That's street smart right there. The books, the school system ain't gonna teach you that. That's just something that you have to learn by experience. So those are things that I think Charlie has never gone through before. So I think he started taking a lot of money from everybody and not realizing that free money is never free. It's never free. The people are giving you money for a reason. You're going to be providing some type of service. It's never free. It comes with something. And I don't think Charlie ever picked up on that. He just kept on soaking it all in, being a six-figure earner, being able to go around and brag about how Erica get to be a stay-at-home mom and they fly private jets everywhere and all the other stuff. He probably didn't even know how dirty the nonprofit game was. He probably genuinely was thinking that he was doing the right thing. The whole time, a nonprofit, which the information that we know now and everything that's been exposed, a nonprofit is a huge loophole in the American system for all types of nefarious things and activities. Our love, I appreciate the donation. Thank you for supporting the channel. Could Charlie have been an intel asset? I think Charlie was selected for a reason. So I don't know. I mean, probably just because of how smart he was, man. It just clicked for him. But he was selected for a reason by those higher people that took over TPUSA. There's no such thing as a 70-year-old man being interested in an 18-year-old kid. In the way that they tried to make it seem like what's going on. And how this 70-year-old man and Charlie was just going around hotel to hotel. Like, that's weird. So that, he was selected for a reason. You know, he was one of those people that they knew he was going to be the president one day, because that's kind of how it always begins. Like, these people are selected at a very young age, and they are followed and watched throughout their life. And I think at one point in time, he definitely became like a mouthpiece for the right. And I think he played that role for a while. And then he finally woke up at the very end. So potentially. Erica would handle a Q&A well. It was probably a strategic choice not to do it. Absolutely. That's why I wanted her to do it, because she is terrible when it comes to real human responses and interacting with a human being, which she likes to call people. She likes to call them human beings. When it comes to interacting with human beings, her processing time is not the fastest. So yeah, she is very terrible with it, and it was a smart thing to do. But it's, I would have loved to see her just go through 100 questions, 50 questions, and just hear her responses. Like, even though they probably would have been 50 fabricated, placed individuals in line that they knew, they knew this, what the question was, and all that other stuff. It probably would have been hella fake. I saw that, and Dank said it's definitely AI. He knows all about AI, so he is sure. Well, there it is. How did they fake come up with something even more fake? They never fail to amaze me at how bad they are at this game, I guess, that they're playing. Maybe they're good at the game, because I don't know what's happening. I don't know why these people just are able to do all this stuff, post all this stuff, and nothing ever happens. What is AK's real role at TBUSA? It can't be PR. He's so terrible at it. Yeah, I mean, I think he's Erica's PR. I think he's Turning Point USA's PR person, and I think that's the only thing he does with TBUSA. And then I think everything else is just like the media stuff, Charlie Kirk show and all that. But yeah, he's terrible. But I also think that it is intentional. I do. Andrew Kovet, out of all of the people in this organization, Andrew Kovet seems like the smartest one. When you really like look at him and you hear the things he say, like you hear how he talks, he's the smartest one. Like, if everybody left TPUSA, Andrew Kovet could have his own thing going. He has like the looks for it and all of that. So I don't know why he's doing and moving the way he's moving right now. That's why I think it's intentional. But I don't know. I don't know what his intentions are, though. He lied to everyone and would want his wife to be in the same situation as him. I think not right. I disagree too. Didn't Erica say Charlie was a compulsive writer, took notes for everything, and he didn't have written notes saying that she should be appointed? Great point. That is a great point. One of the investors will come out and let us know if that backdrop wasn't it. We already know the investor never heard him say that at the retreat. Yeah, it should be that easy. That's why I was so glad for the video to be dropped. Because it's just that simple. That's exactly what we needed. Somebody at that investors event, or the investor meeting, they're gonna say, I was there, and no, that was not the backdrop. Or somebody was going to be at that actual event, wherever it was, wherever year it was, and somebody's gonna say, no, that wasn't an investors meeting. I was there. It was at my college or something like that. That's why we was pushing so hard for the video, because the video is going to be so easy to verify. He wasn't talking to himself. So we're going to find out very, very soon. And my guess is it was not an investors event. But that's the crazy part, because like, just think about it. We're just going to call it right now. Andrew Kovac literally just said on X that it was the investors event in 2025. And that's what it was. Candace Barron, somebody is going to come out and say an investor or a donor was there, and that definitely was not the investors event. Here's the backdrop right here. And everybody's going to be like, oh, man, Andrew Kovac was lying. Look, blah, blah. And nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Even if he's literally on record lying. And nothing's going to happen. They're just going to be like, just gonna move on. He's never gonna address it ever again. Just gonna move on like nothing ever happened. Like he never said that it was that. Like he didn't lie. And it's gonna piss me off. You cussed that dude out yesterday. He's annoying. Are you talking about that JTC53 guy? I found 3 witnesses' statements and a video matching that they heard the shot from the front on the right. I think a few hours later after Project Constitution posted as well. Interesting. Did you post it on your X? I'll definitely go check it out. Yeah, the old trust me, bro. Right. Trust me, bro. Yeah, right. TPUSA and their supporters have not earned the right to say, trust me, bro. They are such liars and manipulators. They need to prove it. They absolutely do. But then they're going to gaslight us and say, we don't have to prove anything to you. Who are you? Like, it's crazy. But you're right. Y'all are right. Y'all have already lied. Once you lied once, that's all I need. You're capable of lying again. Bruh, y'all are so funny. I agree with you about Charlie and Erica giving marriage advice. They were barely married. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's the one thing that I just cannot get with. Should not be giving out marriage advice if you're going to be married for 3 years. Doesn't make any sense. I think Charlie was eager to get married and one day realized she was going to destroy his brand. I think so too. I think he was very, very eager. And he talks like it as well. He pushes the young women to get married quickly or get married young. So yeah, I think he was very eager to get married for various reasons. And I think he was very eager to have a family. Before vetting who this woman actually is. But, it was kind of hard too because I think people around him were plotting against him. So they were taking advantage of his naiveness, because if they weren't, he could have had a chance to see a couple of red flags. But Erica didn't come to him naturally. She came to him prepared, like a test. I know the right things to say to you, Charlie. I know the scriptures to bring up. I know how I need to portray myself to you for these 2 hours in this interview or whatever it is. So it's hard. Charlie's position was very hard because he was the assignment. So it's just a crazy experience that none of us will ever understand. A woman coming to you already knowing who you are, already knowing what you're looking for in a woman. And she's already like prepared to pretend that she's that woman. Of course, he's going to be like, oh, this is amazing. It's crazy. Literally jumped up and scared my dog when that happened. Our love, thank you for the donation and supporting the channel. How does this all end? I think this ends with Tyler Robinson. I don't think I've heard anything about a plea yet. So I think this ends with Tyler Robinson taking a plea, if they haven't got to that part yet of the trial. And once he takes that plea, and I think he'll plead guilty, this will be the end of it, because he had his day in court, and hey, look, he pled guilty, so clearly he's guilty. Like, people that plead guilty are sometimes not guilty. They're just doing it to avoid various things. But I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to plead, or he's not going to make it to trial. And we already know how that goes. Either way, if either of those things happen, it's done, because if he pleads, all the evidence goes out the door because he pleads guilty, and they're going to go ahead and start putting everything in motion for sentencing and all of that. And then everybody's going to say, told y'all. So, and I think that we're also preparing for it, because we're realizing in live time, every time these people do something weird, that the authorities are not interested in locking any of these people up, or at least questioning any of them. So I think because of that, we have an idea of how this is going to end, because JD Vance is able to come out and say Tyler Robinson did it, and Donald Trump say Tyler Robinson did it, even though he's never confessed to it at all to the authorities or at all, period. The fact that he's never confessed, he's never done any of that, yet these people are placing guilt on him. And I think they're doing that for a reason, because they know how the outcome is going to end. He's not getting out. And we also have to understand that he wants to be in there. If he comes out, his life is in jeopardy. And it's going to be in jeopardy as well, even if he allows this case to kind of continue to have holes poked through it. But he wants to be in jail. If he's out, then it's crazy, because now they absolutely have to find somebody to go to jail for what happened to Charlie. And then it's gonna be a frenzy. So I don't think that they would do all of that. That would be a lot of work for them to release Tyler Robinson, and then they would have to have a body in the jail, in prison. And they wouldn't be able to produce that, because now all of a sudden it's, oh, hold on now. I thought Tyler Robinson was the lone wolf, but now that Tyler Robinson is free, y'all magically have another person in custody already? They're not going to do that. So I don't see any of those people coming out and apologizing. I also don't see people coming out and apologizing to us, saying that we were right about everything. I don't take their confidence for granted, because I think it's arrogant. I think ever since Charlie died, these people are pretty much upfront. They're like, yeah, we can do whatever we want, and we won't get in trouble. Same with the Einstein files and all that. So I think that's how this will end, is he will take a plea or he won't make it. And this will just go down in history as what happened to Charlie Kirk. But we will know. We don't know, right? We don't know, but we know. We'll know. I was widowed at 35. I can tell you that this is absolutely next level crazy. I mean, that's the craziest part about all of this too, is because of people like yourself and other widows around the world that are coming out saying, "Hey, this happened to me as well, and this is how long it took me to get over it. This is how long it took me to feel normal again." And even then, they'll come out and say, "Oh, you just don't understand. Oh, you're just this." And it's like, no, no, no. These people are literally coming out and saying, "Hey, something similar happened to me." And what Erica's doing is kind of weird because that's not normal. And they still would find a way to gaslight, somebody that's gone through a similar experience, regardless of how it happened to Charlie or whatever. Just the fact that this happened, and you have to go through this life experiencing this tough occasion and this tough situation. Like, yes, the trauma is similar in a way, and they still would gaslight everybody, even widows, and say you just don't get it. It's just different. Those are the people I pay attention to the most. That's when I first started getting into all of this. I remember I was like paying attention to people that were saying like, "Hey, I'm a widow," and I'm just saying, "No, she's acting weird." I'm like, "Oh, that's telling." People like her quoting scripture, um, like that, turn people off from Christianity. Honestly, it's sad and frustrating. It does. If we just want to be completely blunt and honest, um, it is very annoying to see that. Even for me, I just get so bothered by that because of how many people do that. And then you really have to think back in American history and just remember that some of the worst things that has happened in this country, manipulating scripture played a factor. And so, like, when I'm seeing it in live time, it bothers me because I'm like, man, this nothing has changed, huh? It's been hundreds of years, thousands of years, and people still are manipulating scripture. It is, yeah, it does suck. It does absolutely suck to see that. It's very frustrating to see that. It's very frustrating to see how many people are believing what these people say. And it just makes you think about all of the other people that are in position to have some type of power in our government or something that do the same thing, that have been doing it for years. So yeah, I agree. It does turn people off from Christianity, but you also just have to be so strong in your faith to identify it and try to just see it with the lens of like, man, it's a bunch of BS. Like, just a bunch of BS. Just try to keep it pushing. Lost my husband 60 days ago. Erica Kirk exhibits nothing authentic. Her grief appears. I'm what? Complete? Compile? Complete? Oh, completely fake. You had to continue. I was like, what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. And you're right. I don't think that anything about her is authentic at all. Even when that one time where she was sitting next to that mom that lost her daughter in that stabbing in Charlotte. I forgot, that girl from Ukraine, and how she was so devastated. And Erica was just sitting there. I'm like, yeah, I think that's how you're supposed to be. I think there's real emotions right there. Two widows are in the chat who call this BS right. It's very, very telling. Wow, I feel bad for the women who paid a lot of money to attend this lame conference. I'm telling you, man. That's why I'm convinced that most of these people were TPUSA affiliates at different chapters around the country that just got a free flight to go support. I thought these conferences were all about uplifting, empowering them. Is this a widow conference? Right. It's crazy, ain't it? I agree. When the heckler yelled out, Erica wanted to fake cry, scream in anger, and laugh all in the same second. That is a demon, pure evil. Yeah, she couldn't figure out what was the appropriate emotion for that moment. That her program was shutting down. The women speaking at that conference do not represent most Christian women. The women attending that conference are fangirls only. Ridiculous. I agree. They all seem like fangirls that was just cheering for absolutely no reason. Like, oh my gosh. I 100% agree with you. Jay, Dana is the same woman on the same reading the Bible verses on the screen. Maybe her name was Dana. Okay, Dana what? I guess I could find out. You don't have to tell me. I'm sure I could just search up Dana Women's Summit or something. Did you notice how EK's eyes turned so evil when she got heckled? Even her response to this girl sounded angry and insincere. Yeah, absolutely. She her mask was falling a little bit. She tried to keep it up, but it was slipping. Careful what you put out there. I can see them propping her up to be VP. Yeah, that was 1000% the goal. It probably messed it up with all the things going on now, and that we have peeped it and we realized what was going on. We were able to clock it early, but that's what they were doing. I was saying that since December that she was going for the vice presidential position. The second she went on that CBS interview with Barry Wise in December, I said, oh, this is a political campaign. This is a soft launch into her political career. When they start asking questions about the world, oh, you getting into politics. Because why do I care about how she feel about certain situations? It was like, how do you feel about anti-Semitism? What? I thought we was talking about her husband that just died. We got to start showing up to these comedy shows and scream a few heckles. I would have went in a completely direction, but respect the follow through. Oh, my fault, but respect the follow through. I need that girl's handle so I can follow her. Yeah, I need to figure out who that was too. I don't know. I couldn't even tell. Are they now Catholic? I'm not sure. I'm not saying Charlie was a bad father, but he also was not there a lot. It's kind of crazy. He could show Vance how to be a good father. Yeah, I mean, I feel like JD Vance might have been home more than Charlie Kirk. But yeah, I don't think he was a bad father either. He Charlie was, again, he went by those traditional roles. So he felt like a man should work all the time and a woman just stay at home and just take care of the kids. So it makes sense on why he volunteered to, maybe not volunteer, but why he chose that lifestyle to always be on the road because of what he preached. But we also got to have work-life balance. You can work hard, but a father also needs to be around their kid every day and just be a part of that growth process, be a part of that journey every day. I don't think anybody should be away from their kid days at a time, weeks at a time, mom or dad. So I definitely understand what you're saying. And yes, I don't think he was giving JD Vance fatherly advice. Candace is going to max out the internet tomorrow for sure. Yeah, I agree. She's going to go crazy. So much has happened. Oh my gosh. They have been discussing it for years, yet the CEO must have said no. He must have said no, huh? I might steal that from you. Be on the lookout. You might see it on X because you're 100% right. Jay, I love your live streams. They're always intelligent and informative. Love the humor too. God bless you and your family. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Charlotte. You think Erica was an agent turned into asset? Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Think about this. He was writing her notes before he passed away. Maybe he was trying to rekindle something and he felt bad for being away for 300 days a year. Maybe so. Maybe so. I'm open to anything. Maybe so. He's in damage control. Who's in damage control? Oh yeah, I might be talking to each other. I'm tripping. Hey, let's go. Let me check. Okay. 86 now. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for hitting the like button. We are almost wrapped up for the night. If he pleads guilty, does he still get the death sentence? Potentially, yeah, potentially, based on Utah law, and based on what the prosecution team brings to the table to present to that supports the death sentence. So yeah, it could still happen, or the judge could rule it out and and say no, I don't see that as a possibility. Maybe it's just gonna be life in prison or something like that. But remember, Andrew Kovac says he's gonna be very upset if he doesn't die, if he doesn't get the death sentence. So we'll see. Oh, Mary, I appreciate the donation. Thank you for supporting the channel. Listening from Tallinn, Estonia. Wow. I know for a fact I do not have that on the map. So let me put that down right here so I can add you to the map. Thank you. Thank you for supporting. Oh, okay. I see. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Thank you for supporting the channel. Do y'all remember when they said he was threatening to unalive himself before turning himself in? I think they were going to make it look like he did it to himself, but he turned himself in. Yep, 100%. You are correct. Yeah, he wasn't supposed to turn himself in at that time. They were supposed to knock him off the face of the earth before that even happened. He ended up turning himself in way too early. So he could appeal after he pled though, or can you only appeal if you're convicted and not plea? As much as we all don't want him to plead, if he really could avoid a death sentence, I can't blame him, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, he might be put in position to do that. He might plead just to avoid the death sentence. Because it happens. That's why I say, like, if he pleads guilty, then the widow warriors and stuff are gonna say, "Oh, look, he had his day in court. He's guilty," but in reality, he could just be avoiding the death sentence. But yeah, people still appeal for a retrial or all of that stuff. Even after they're convicted, after they're already in jail, it does happen. It does sometimes. It doesn't. It gets denied. Like Tory Lanez has done that many times since he's been behind bars. Appealed his conviction and request a retrial, and they just denied it every time. So Going international. Yes, yes, indeed. You see, we are all over. I love it, and I definitely appreciate y'all for listening. This started not that long ago. Our live shows are it's not even half a year old, I believe. Our live shows started. Let me show y'all this real quick before we get out of here. Our live shows, oh shoot. Our live shows started 3 months ago. Look, I'm in my son's room. And I wasn't in my son's room all the time. I was in my son's room. Oh, here 2. Oh, here 3. Okay, see, I was up at, so yep. Debate with Lisa. Yep. But see, we haven't been on live that long. Our first live was I don't want to see myself. Our first live was March 3rd. And we are at June 8th. And I remember those days, man. March 3rd. And did not. It's just crazy. This is crazy. The progress and everything. I am just so excited to continue to keep this going. We've come a long way. Everything reinvesting back into everything. So you see the complete difference of absolutely everything from March 3rd to June. So it hasn't been that long at all. It's only been like 3 or so months of being live. And I even remember when we first started live, you kind of got to get over that hump when you first start doing all of this stuff. And I'm familiar with it with like TikTok. You got to start somewhere. And so it was funny with YouTube lives 3 months ago. I remember it used to just be me and like 2 or 3 people that would like listen in and it'd be cool. It'd be great. You know what I mean? Like you just got to love what you do. And so I love to yap. I love to talk about stuff like this in general. So it used to just be me and 2 or 3 other people that would tune in and we'd be talking, yapping, all that. And then, maybe by the end of the week, it was 5. And then, maybe it hit 10. And I was like, it was crazy, and now here we are. The community is growing. We're growing all over the world. We're talking and yapping all the time. Everybody's coming together, having a great time. And so it's just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So I appreciate y'all for listening. Again, make sure you hit the like button on your way out this time. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the sub button. We are on the road to 22K. I appreciate all the support along the way. I think we at 21.8. So we almost there. About 200 or so more to go. On our way to 200K. One day we'll have 200K subs, 22K subs. But I appreciate y'all for listening. I hope you have a great night, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.